With Love, Megyn, that stupid program on Netflix, failed to rank among Netflix's top 300 most watched titles. It's crazy how low that was.
So hard to be perfect that she tenses up every time the camera is on her. The best cooks are funny. They mess up. They are human. She just wants to be perfect. It's so sad because she's trying so hard to stay in the limelight.
This woman is nothing but a publicity whore. It's a term of art. And we broke the news that she had Prince Harry on her vision board when she was younger, and that was her goal. Hashtag goal.
Here comes the first time in her life that Meghan Markle actually touches food. Let's watch that back. Why is she pushing apples into the salad? Oh dear, even her hands can't do acting.
There were 80 crew members.
If there were, what the hell kind of budget is Netflix paying for this bullshit show?
So who cares about the first responders, Brittany? She's just going to be tending to her garden and constantly trying to push the Netflix show, it seems.
I mean, I saw this video and I thought, oh my gosh, how dull. She really is quite dull and boring in many ways. This is not exciting. It is not interesting at all.
There is no way Netflix cut these two losers a check for $100 million and said, go show us your genius.
Yeah.
We know you've got it in you.
Maureen Callahan and I discovered firsthand, Glenn, when we did our parody of Megyn's stupid Netflix show, trying to make herself into the next Martha Stewart, and we realized her one-pot pasta is just a blatant ripoff of Martha Stewart's one-pot pasta, which turned out to be like one of her most famous recipes.
Speaking of the reality show, the cooking show, I saw the same story. She's already tired of selling the jams and jellies. She's like, well, we might restock in 2026. I think there's no demand. I also think she's lazy. I don't think she wants to work. They don't want to work. They want to twerk and sit around and film videos. So I think she should actually run for office because Meghan Markle, you're lazy.
Go, yes.
Megyn, tell me where you got that gorgeous bracelet.
It's Megyn. Megyn.
You keep saying Meghan Markle, you know I'm Sussex now.
It's very important to me. My dearest friends know it's Megyn, like the month of May.
Right.
What really went wrong with Meghan's Netflix saga? Was it just a failed show? Or did it expose something deeper about her struggle to reinvent herself? This story isn't just about TV ratings. It's about identity, public perception, and the fine line between authenticity and performance. When Meghan Markle signed that blockbuster Netflix deal, it was pitched as more than just content.
She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim. My castle's too small. The queen is mean to me.
It was marketed as a rebirth. After years of palace drama, feuds, and headlines about her split from the royal family, Meghan was ready to take control of her own narrative. And what better way to do it than with a $100 million contract that promised creative freedom, glossy
Did I do something?
No, stop. By the way, I love your Luke.
Sorry, what's that?
You're Luke. You look amazing. You're Luke.
My Luke.
My Luke. My look. She likes my Luke.
Anywho.
production and global reach. This was her moment to reintroduce herself to the world, not as a duchess tied to tradition, but as a modern woman shaping her own destiny. The concept sounded simple enough. Strip away the palace pressure, drop the royal drama, and show Meghan at home, cooking, laughing, chatting.
Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's gonna have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants.
With friends and raising her kids in California sunshine. No tiaras, no formality, just a relatable mom in a cozy kitchen. It was supposed to feel like the anti-royal show, a peek into a down-to-earth lifestyle where the Duchess becomes just another woman juggling family, friends, and a career. But here's where things got tricky. Meghan's version of relatable.
Markle targeted Prince Harry. She wanted to be a star. She rejected a couple of other British guys who weren't powerful enough. Then she was rejected by a bunch of them. How embarrassing for Prince Harry to have been the one who fell for it. What a dope.
Didn't exactly line up with what ordinary people recognize as real life. The kitchen wasn't a normal kitchen. It looked like something out of an interior design magazine, complete with flawless marble countertops, soft lighting, and not a single crumb out of place. The meals weren't comforting home-cooked dishes. They were styled, plated, and served like prop.
The best way to have a snack is to take the snack out of one bag and then move them into another bag and then label this new bag, even though this bag already has a label on it.
For photo shoot. And Megyn herself, every laugh felt perfectly timed, every conversation rehearsed, and every moment polished to the point of losing all spontaneity. Instead of letting people into her real world, Megyn gave them a character, the relatable Duchess. And the problem was nobody bought it. Viewers didn't see warmth.
This candle just reminds me so much of growing up in LA. You know what? This knife reminds me of growing up in LA. Kosher salt brings me back to my days in LA. I'm an LA native. I am a Los Angelite. This salt reminds me of growing up in LA.
They saw performance. They didn't see authenticity. They saw acting. The whole setup screamed effort, and audiences could feel it. What was meant to be an intimate, welcoming portrait felt staged, artificial, and almost uncomfortable to watch. And this was just the beginning. Because if Megyn thought the world would embrace her cozy California rebrand...
I'm so glad Megyn is teaching us how to salt popcorn. She's really worked hard, guys, hasn't she?
And since we put all of our energy into making
that
those
stale popcorn,
she was about to learn a harsh truth. When you try too hard to be relatable, people notice. And the internet, it doesn't forgive. The moment Megyn's Netflix project hit screens, it didn't take long for the internet to react. And the reactions were anything but flattering. Instead of the warm reception she was banking...
Welcome to Megyn's parallel universe. Check out the head wobble when he explains speed metal.
on, viewers immediately zeroed in on the disconnect between the story she was trying to tell and the life she was actually living. Think about it. Here was Meghan Markle, living in a $14 million Montecito mansion with private security, staff, and resources that most people can't even dream of. And yet, the narrative she tried to sell...
It turns out that Meghan Markle has no influence. She's actually failing at becoming an influencer, which is something that, up until her, I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know it was possible to fail at doing that, because literally anyone can do it.
...was one of everyday struggle and relatable motherhood. The contrast was almost laughable. People weren't inspired, they were annoyed. Social media lit up with comments pointing out the absurdity of a duchess with a fleet of helpers trying to portray herself as just another working mom trying to make pasta for her kids. And it wasn't just the jokes.
I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it.
By elevating it, Meghan Markle means she has to show her wealth at every turn. This is the first of 5 different apron changes. Just add some olive oil to everything because it's expensive.
The backlash carried a sharper edge. Many felt that Meghan's attempt at relatability was tone-deaf, especially during a time when millions of people around the world were dealing with real financial pressures, job insecurity, and everyday challenges. Watching a royal try to teach the world about normal life from inside a sprawling estate came...
This is about connecting with friends.
No, I don't think it's going to be about connecting with friends. I think it's going to be about connecting with Megyn, because it's all about Megyn.
Off less like a documentary and more like unintentional satire. The problem was clear. The more Megyn tried to control the narrative, the less believable it became. Her laughter looked rehearsed. Her conversations felt staged, and instead of breaking down barriers, the show built new ones. What was meant to be cozy...
Part of what was making her show unwatchable was just some of the comments she was making, okay? Like, in one episode, she's talking about how you shouldn't fill up your ice cube tray with tap water.
And authentic turned into a polished performance that only highlighted the gap between Megyn and the audience she wanted to connect with. And once the internet turns on you, the spiral is brutal. Every scene became a new punchline. Every screenshot a new meme template. The show wasn't just being criticized, it was being laughed at. And when you're...
My name is Megan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy fucking Kaling. I want my home to feel welcoming. Do you feel welcome? Does my soundstage welcome you?
Your authentic comeback is being mocked more than it's being watched, you know you've got a serious problem. Rotten Tomatoes slapped the show with an embarrassingly low score, the kind reserved for the kind of content that people watch only to mock. It wasn't just a bad rating, it was a collective rejection, almost as if the entire industry agreed this was one of the most tone-deaf celebrity ventures.
This is by far the worst deal in Netflix history. The show for me was unoriginal, dull, and as expected.
In years. Within days, sketches mocking Megyn's overly perfect parfaits and beige aesthetic were everywhere. Strangely enough, those parodies felt more authentic than Megyn's carefully polished show. Audiences laughed harder at the mock versions than the original content itself. It became clear that Megyn's attempt at relatability had backfired in the most humiliating.
She is known as a dictator in heels. Yes, she is a ginormous bully, and when she does that to you, you better jump up and run.
Way possible. Instead of being celebrated for showing her real life, she was now being used as comedic material. People weren't just rejecting the show, they were openly laughing at it. And that shift was devastating, because once critics and comedians turn you into a joke, it's nearly impossible to convince audiences to take you.
Excited because one of my closest friends is coming over to help me cook today. Shit, what's her name? Line?
You seriously again. What Megyn hoped would be her triumphant reintroduction to the world had turned into a global roast. And if the savage reviews weren't damaging enough, the internet was about to turn the backlash into a full-blown cultural phenomenon. The worst part, the parodies and memes started to overshadow the original show. Clips mocking her.
Pamela Anderson had to address Meghan Markle copying her cooking show, while Markle's Netflix deal might actually still happen?
Pasta moment racked up more views than the actual episodes. The satire felt more authentic than the polished version Megyn had tried to sell. People weren't tuning in to watch her carefully curated life. They were tuning in to laugh at how badly it was executed. Instead of controlling her image, Megyn had accidentally handed over the narrative to meme culture. And once the internet takes ownership of your story, there's no getting it back. Season 2 had already been filmed back-to-back with Season 1. This wasn't a bold gamble, it was a safety net. Netflix knew Megyn's brand was polarizing from the start, so they hedged their bets. By shooting 2 seasons at once, they saved money on production costs and guaranteed themselves more content, no matter how the first batch performed. And that leaves her at a crossroads. Does she double down, keep reinventing, and hope something eventually clicks? Or does she take a step back, strip away the polish, and finally reveal a version of herself that isn't staged for the camera? Because if there's one thing this saga has proven, it's that audiences aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for authenticity. And right now, that's the one thing Megyn hasn't managed to deliver.